I'm going to do kind of a quick little walk around video this morning and bring you up to speed on what's happened and what's happening and all of that. First thing I guess I could talk about is this can right here. I just went on eBay and bought that. I have a friend, she's actually a YouTuber, and she asked me about building her a can banjo, and her name's Rosa Hopkins. You can look up Rosa and Joe. I think Joe goes by something else, Joe something on YouTube. But if you find Rosa, you'll find Joe, and they do music videos, and you know, they're cool people. I've been talking to them for a lot of years, and she said she had having a can banjo on her bucket list, and I said, well, heck fire, all you got to do is tell me you want one and I'll build you one. Now, I don't do that for everybody, but I have done it before for my friends. I built one for Dead-Eyed Dan, and I built a can guitar for 63 Impala two-door, and I built one for a guy named Burns, who is a country singer who I never heard from again. It's a shame too, because I built him a really nice banjo. Don Burns, I don't know. Anyway, that's all beside the point. But I do have a new can banjo making project in the future. But I kind of need to get my space cleaned out where my banjo stuff is. Today is a little chilly-ish for Georgia. It's 40, almost 50 degrees. It's not too bad. It's not like Maine, where a buddy of mine sent pictures of his new tractor he got to plow his driveway with, and talked about all the shear pins he broke on it so far already. But we got sunshine coming out, and 50 degrees ain't bad. It's going to get even warmer. So another thing that happened, we had an awesome birthday party for a friend here in the neighborhood, and that was great. And then yesterday we had the redneck Christmas parade, Montevideo redneck Christmas parade. And there's a guy named Jerry who's, you know, there's a lot going on down here that has to do with neighborhood. And it's wonderful to have a neighborhood where, you know, things like birthday parties and local parades and all that are just big events. And Jerry wanted me to bring this over to his place yesterday morning, and it was pouring down rain. But I said I'd be there at a certain time, so I jumped in it and I put on my rain pants and my leather jacket and my little hooded cap, and we drove this thing over there. That wasn't that much fun, but driving back was amazing. Last night, after the parade, I went back to get this, and it was just at the point where you start seeing that it's going to get dark. And I jumped in this thing, and it was out in the field, and I was afraid to get stuck, but I just decided to gun it and try it, and it came out of the field just fine. And we drove it home. I was winding this thing up, and boy, she just felt great. So I had taken a video going over with this, and this is another new thing to talk about right here. This is a Insta 361 X2 that Josh turned me on to. Now, this is what they call a 360-degree camera, which means if I fire this thing up and start shooting with it, it will film everything in a circle around me, vertically and horizontally. And there's a way to load it so that if I put up a video like that, you out there in the world can touch the screen or use your mouse pad to move the picture in the video around so that you can see 360 degrees all around me, above and below and everything else. Now, doing that is confusing. I mean, the process for me is still confusing. I spent a week watching videos and trying to figure this thing out. It's got a camera on the front and it's got a camera on the back, and it seems to me like the natural point of focus is the end of this stick, because it's made to make this stick empty. But if I'm holding this stick, there's a button on here that you can push, well, in the program, that says, you know, I can't remember what it is, something about return to focus point or something. Well, that'll shoot. That's basically like a selfie stick. And so I don't have to hold this up like a camera. I can just walk around with it sticking up in the air, and it'll be shooting pictures of me, which is, my thinking for that was to have the hot rod. My thinking on that was to have the hot rod and be able to drive it and see all that. But it got much more complicated when I began to try to make a video, which brings me back to the camera that I'm shooting this on, which is my old DSi action cam. And it just shoots in one direction, but by comparison, it's pretty simple because it'll shoot in the direction I point it in, and that's a beautiful thing.